Empathy. You may well have heard this talked about at your own company, because empathy, and in particular the art of empathetic leadership, has almost become a buzzword at many organisations as those companies seek to develop organisational cultures that create psychologically safe and inviting work environments. But what is empathy? Well, it's loosely defined as the ability to understand the viewpoint of somebody else. But in practice, it's much more than that. Because empathy can be the trait that unlocks the potential of your employees, unlocks the potential of your teams and of your whole organisation. Because when somebody that works for you believes that you really do care about them as people and care about their professional and personal well-being, well then you as a leader will find they'll deliver more than you ever thought could be possible. I've seen many people try to be empathetic, but you can tell it's just not in their character and it comes across as totally faked and false. So to some degree, empathy is a trait that you're actually going to have in your character or that you might not have. And that's not to say it can't be developed and it can't be improved. But if you're one of those people that simply does not empathise with others, then you're going to have a harder time getting the most out of your team than somebody who has a natural degree of empathy to their personality. So how can you improve your ability to empathise with your colleagues and teams? Well, here are a few tips. Tip 1. Remember, it's not about you, it's about them. Now this is your starting point. When you're in one-to-one meetings with your team, it's vital to remember you're talking about them, not you. Put yourself in your team's shoes. Let's say you're having a hard time and you muster up the energy to tell your manager, you say, boss, I'm really struggling at the moment, I'm feeling really stressed, I'm really tired, and I'm not sure what to do. But what's the best response from you as a leader? Do you say, yeah, I know the feeling, I'm exhausted as well, I think I need a holiday as well? Or do you say, I'm sorry, that's really awful. Maybe we could look at your workload and make some adjustments. I'm sure we could help the situation that way. That second response is completely different to the first and it shows empathy and emotional intelligence. But I've worked with so many people that would have responded in the first way. When somebody makes a statement, there's always a temptation to give your own perspective. But for true empathy, remember that in that particular moment, it's not about you, it's about them. Tip 2, phone off. I remember being in a one-to-one with my manager. I had something really important to tell him. It had taken me a long time to pluck up the courage to bring a serious issue to his attention, and yet I finally tried to get the words out. It was, see what I mean? It was constant interruptions. And he'd take the call or read the message. I think I actually just gave up trying to get my issue across, because there wasn't any point. If he did care, then it certainly seemed like he didn't. Distractions such as your ever-demanding inbox or buzzing phone can be a killer when it comes to showing empathy. You might actually really care about what the person has to say, but it sure won't seem that way to them if you're constantly glancing at your screen as they open up to you. Turn off as much as you can. Give the conversation your full attention, be present in the moment. Tip 3, understand diversity. Now we know that understanding the perspective of somebody else is vital to being an empathetic leader, and it follows that the more types of perspective you can relate to, the more you'll have the capability to empathise with people from all situations and backgrounds. In today's workplace, teams are often global in nature, with a variety of cultures, experiences, ages, perspectives and challenges. And as a leader, you'll find it challenging to fully empathise with everybody, especially for those in a background that might be unfamiliar to you. That's no fault of yours, but there are things you can do to help and develop the capabilities to relate to the challenges of people that are in situations that you're never going to experience yourself. Empathetic leaders will try not only to develop and build teams that are highly diverse in their composition, but they'll also make an effort to research and learn about cultures and perspectives that are unfamiliar to them. And while that might not be foolproof, it certainly goes a long way to improving the ability of a leader to empathise with their team. Many companies class empathy as the #1 desired trait of their leadership teams. And it's something that I've found fundamental to my own success in the world of people management. Empathy is rightly considered to be a fundamental pillar of emotional intelligence, and it should be something we all try our best to develop.